Hello and welcome to Fortress Alaska. I'm your host Dave, and today we're starting a new series, So You Want to Hunt in Alaska. So it's going to be a multi-part series, and it does make some assumptions to start with. The first assumption is that you are not an Alaskan resident and you are traveling up to Alaska to go hunting. The second assumption it makes is that you have done your due diligence and have thoroughly reviewed all the Alaska game laws. And then from there, we'll go on. And we're going to start with part one, which is going to be the hunting rifle. So as I said, part one is just the rifle. That's all we're going to talk about today. Keep them short and sweet. So what we want to look at is, first of all, I suggest starting with a bolt action rifle. Semi-automatic hunting rifles are fine. They've come a long way. But reality is nothing else as reliable as a bolt action rifle. And if you're really good, you can go to a single shot, but I recommend a bolt action rifle to start. The other thing I highly recommend is your rifle be fitted with iron sights and learn how to use them. Often when hunting in Alaska, you're traveling to very remote areas. You take a bad fall, luggage gets damaged, and your scope doesn't work, you're going to need those iron sights, because you can literally be hundreds of miles from anywhere, and what you have is what's in your hands. So have iron sights as backup and know how to use them. Most good shots with the iron sights can go out to 300 yards. It's not as good as a scope, but it'll do the job. The other thing I recommend, stainless steel, unless you don't care about the finish of your gun. Hunting in Alaska, you are often going to be in the rain, in the snow, in the ice, in the water, near salt water. It's a wet environment. So in fact, it's raining right now as I film this. It rains a lot in Alaska. Now you can get a week of beautiful weather and luck out, but don't count on it. So if you don't care about the finish of your rifle, go with blued. If you're worried about the finish of your rifle, go with stainless steel. The other thing I recommend, synthetic stocks. I've literally been out hunting one day where it is 70 plus degrees, sunny, and you're sweating your butt off as you're hiking up a mountain hunting. The next day, I've been in freezing rain and snow. So you can have drastic temperature differences, 70 plus degrees from one day to the next. You can go from dry to soaking wet. So you don't want a wood stock that's going to change the point of impact of your rifle. Next thing, sling. A good sling, whatever you're comfortable with. I wouldn't recommend leather, once again, because of the water issue. But a good sling that you can sling and carry while you are just moving from place to place. A lot of times when you're hunting, your rifle isn't slung, but sometimes it is. So a good sling is good. The other thing I recommend is something to carry extra cartridges. It can either be on the rifle or on your belt. Theoretically, you only need one or two, but having extra never hurts. The other thing, good recoil pad, because you're going to want a high-powered rifle. Now, the other thing you want is a variable power scope. Something you can set very low, like 2 or even 1 power, for when you're just moving around, bushwhacking, busting through the brush. Because something jumps up in front of you, whether it be what you're hunting, or say a bear who's upset because you're too close, you want to be able to see to shoot through your scope. And if you have a fixed 4 power or 6 power, 8 power, you're not going to be able to find your target. So you want a variable power scope, something that goes down to at least 2, 2.5, and maybe all the way down to 1. A low power variable scope is really all you need. If you can go 1 to 8, 8 power is plenty. This is only an 8 power scope, and I've hunted for almost 30 years with it and have never felt undergunned or had a scope that, I can't reach out and touch what I want. The other thing you want to do is you want to practice with it. You want to be a consistent shot with the scope to 400 yards. You have traveled a long way and spent a lot of money to get to Alaska. Make sure you can hit a target out to 400 yards, because that may be the only shot you get. With the iron sights, maybe 300 yards and in is what you can do. Even if it's only 200 yards, at least know how to use those iron sights. Also, when you come, make sure you bring a cleaning kit for the rifle and any other maintenance items you need for that rifle. So that is the basic hunting rifle for Alaska, or what I would recommend. It's just what I use. I'm not telling you that that's what you need to use, but I'm just telling you what I've used for 30 years and have been very successful with it. Now in the next section, part 2, we'll talk about calibers and ammo, because that can always be a very contentious subject, and I don't want to confuse that with the rifle. So just in summary, you want a good all-weather rifle with a scope that can do maybe as low as 1, but 2.5 is fine, or up to 8 at least. Beyond 8, maybe if you're sheep hunting you want more than that, but just remember, every ounce you add to the rifle in weight is an ounce you're carrying. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about hunting Alaska, please put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. You can find me on Facebook and all the other social media places. And please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the video. Have a Patreon account. No big deal. And as always, have a good day and get out shooting. And oh, by the way, last night I fell asleep in my Eagles t-shirt. And when I woke up, I was in the Hotel California.